YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy Boba and welcome back to another player review on the channel. Hope you guys are having an incredible day. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and check out our very first Winter Champions SBC card for none other than Scott Mctominay. Mctominay is an 86 rated card. He has the controlled acceleration type, right footer with 3-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot. Now, we don't see much versatility with the card as he can only play the center mid and center defensive mid positions. And if we go ahead and look at his in-game stats in a bit more detail, we can see that the card is extremely well-rounded, very close to Hooligan with his lowest stat being 78 for his passing. And with the way that the card is set up, man, the technical side to his game is going to be really important, but we also need the physical side to be top tier. Now, he does have 80 pace overall with 81 acceleration and 80 sprint speed. Not too bad for a midfielder, but I would still recommend a chem style to get the most out of his pace. With the way that the card is set up, the shadow chem style is probably your best option to get the most out of his pace and then also to make his defending even better. Now, if you do plan on running him as that box-to-box midfielder in your starting 11, the 81 shooting could be a pretty important stat as well. And for the most part, he does have some pretty decent shooting stats: 82 attacking positioning, 80 finishing, and 88 shot power. With the way that the card is set up, I do see a lot more people running him as like a center defensive mid where he is a bit more of a holding midfielder, but if you do run him as that box to box, that's a pretty decent area to his game as well. 78 passing for the card, not ideal for a midfielder, especially if you do want to create a few chances with him. I mean, for the most part, he does have some pretty good short pass and long pass, but the rest of his passing stats aren't great. 71 vision, 76 curve. It's going to be really interesting to test out how accurate it is. The 83 dribbling is going to be a huge part to his game because, as you guys know, Scott Mctominay is 6'4". He does have a pretty big build in game, but he does have some really nice dribbling stats: 82 agility, 83 balance, and 84 reactions. I'm pretty sure he's going to be actually quite smooth on the ball, which is going to be really nice to see. And then last but not least, boys, in the two standout stats for the card, the 86 defending and 86 physical, man. We need the defensive side to his game to be really effective. I love the fact that he does have the intercept playstyle plus with his 87 interception, should be really good at breaking up the play and advancing the ball forward. And then alongside that, he does also have 93 heading accuracy, 83 defensive awareness, and 88 stand tackle. Pairing that with his build and then also his strength and aggression, man, he should be an absolute tank in the middle of the pitch, man. 85 strength and 92 aggression for the card. You can maybe give him the anchor chem style, but again, man, his strength and aggression is already really good, so you might as well get the most out of his pace. Now, in terms of playstyles, he does only have 5 different playstyles, but the ones that he does have are quite effective. He has the intercept playstyle plus, and then he does also have the long ball pass, tiki-taka, block, and relentless. It would have been really nice to maybe see a few more defensive playstyles or maybe a scoring playstyle just to add a little bit more to his attacking game, but for the most part, the ones that he does have are quite effective. And when it comes to player roles, there is a bit of variety with the way that you can incorporate him in game. Now, he does have a player role plus as that holding midfielder, so if you do want to run him as a center defensive mid-man, I think that could work really well. And then alongside that, he does also have 2 player role pluses as a holding center mid and then also as a box-to-box midfielder. Now, in order to complete the SBC, boys, it's only going to cost you 50,000 coins, 4 different requirements with a lot of low-rated teams. So if you do have a lot of Serie A players and you can get him on full chemistry, it does look like a pretty decent value SBC. If you guys do enjoy these FC25 player reviews and you want to see more of them on the channel, definitely let me know by leaving a like, turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload, and then also consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. It would be greatly appreciated. This is the team we're going to be using in FUT Champions to test out the new Mctominay card. We're going to be playing him at the center mid position as that box-to-box midfielder in the 4-3-3 formation. So without further ado, boys, let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 and let's see how good this card really is. Alright, boys, here we are jumping into game number 1 using the new Mctominay card, and I must say I'm actually really excited to test him out. I feel like he's going to be a really solid player for the price, man, so if you are on a budget, a pretty decent SBC to complete. Now, first things first, you guys know how we like to start off every player review, and that is by testing out the card's dribbling. Now, as you guys know, he is 6'4", a very big build in game. And if we go ahead and do a little bit of left stick dribbling, man, for the most part, he does have some pretty decent dribbling stats. And I mean, he's not the smoothest of players I've ever used, but I feel like you can get the job done with him. But yeah, man, the plan is to go ahead and use him as that box-to-box midfielder in the 4-3-3 formation. We need him to be very good defensively while still providing that attacking threat. Now, very early on in the game, boys, pretty decent attacking positioning right there. Mctominay, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I mean, it's a pretty decent finish, man. I mean, his scoring is not going to be that important, but as that box-to-box midfielder, if you do find yourself in a more advanced position with Mctominay, he can maybe bag you a few goals as well. Now, for the most part, boys, he does have some pretty decent reactions and composure, so we are going to try to do as much manual defending with the card as possible. Now, you guys already know, man, I love my goal kick tactics, so we are going to test out his passing right here. He does have the long ball pass playstyle, so we'll go for a cross diagonal. I mean, it's a pretty decent pass right there. I love the fact that he does have the long ball pass playstyle, but he doesn't have the craziest of passing stats, so that's going to be interesting to test out. But very early on in this game, man, I can already tell that he has been picking up pretty decent pockets of space. Mctominay, nice. A little bit of tiki-taka football right here. Just gonna go for a step over, test out the left stick dribbling a little bit more. I think we're gonna get a foul right there. We'll take that. Decent dribbling right there. Now, we did signal Chiesa to make that run. I'm just gonna go for an over the top through ball, test out his long range passing a little bit more. It's decent, man. It's decent. I think it's going to be a little bit more inconsistent compared to like other midfielders. Now, he does also have the 4-star weak foot, man. So the left foot passing should be quite accurate as well. That's a lovely ball into Chiesa. Maybe we can go ahead and get a goal right here. A little bit of dribbling right here. Chiesa all the way with the power shot. It's a lovely finish, man. We'll take that. So if you do plan on running him as like a holding midfielder in your starting 11, man, the long range passing can be very effective, which is nice to see. Mctominay, a little bit defensive cover right here. I'm going to actually try to track back and see if we can break up the play. He is trying to go for a lot of finesse shots with Son. Scott Mctominay, there it is, boys. I mean, the intercept playstyle plus a great addition for the card. I feel like he's definitely like one of those players that are just like a little bit annoying to play against, especially with like his build and with the way that the card is set up. Boys, let's see if we maybe tie it up right here. We did signal Mctominay to make that run just to get a little bit more of an attacking threat. Thuram, boys, that's a lovely ball, man. The attacking positioning so far hasn't been too bad. I don't know where he's going. But we do get possession. Mctominay is a lovely finish, man. A little bit lucky with that play, but we'll take it. I think that that's maybe the third time we got him a little bit further up the pitch. We scored twice, and then he did miss one pretty good chance. So far has been pretty consistent. Now, we do have a little bit of space out wide. We're going to go ahead and play it to Brennan Johnson. Mctominay, again, in a very advanced position. That play roll is actually low-key kind of suiting him. Should have just hit that shot first time. Mctominay. Now, this is where we need a little bit of recovery speed just to see if we can maybe catch up and break up the play. He does also have the block play style, the intercept play style plus, man, again, working really well with the card. All right, boys, counter-attacking football right here. Mctominay, the powerhouse, 6'4", man, really good pace with the shadow chem style. I might just try to get him in behind. Thuram over the top. I mean, it's a pretty decent... Oh my gosh, boys, look at the pace right there. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe a little bit lucky in that play right there, but really good pace and another really nice finish. I honestly didn't expect him to get to that ball, especially with Ferland Mendy defending us, but we do get to it, man. I mean, that's a really nice play forward. As you guys know, in order to complete the SBC, it is only 50,000 coins, and for that price, if you do have a Serie A team, man, it's a pretty good value one to go ahead and complete. But yeah, man, let's see if we can get off to a good start in game number 2. I feel like that the box-to-box player role has actually been working really well with the card. Another really nice pass right there. Mctominay, a little bit of manual defending right here, boys. Again, pretty consistent in the tackle as well. That's good physicality in the middle of the pitch. Mctominay, a little bit of left stick dribbling in the middle of the pitch. I mean, I will say, boys, for someone of his build, he definitely reminds me a lot of Thuram. So if you do prefer those types of midfielders, he's a pretty good addition to your team. Thuram, good interception. Now, we're keeping the pressure up at the moment. Might just try to get Mctominay. No, we'll switch it up a little bit. Over the top through ball with the 4-star weak foot. It could have been a better passman, and that's something that I noticed with the card. For the most part, with the long ball pass play style, his passing is pretty solid in game, but sometimes a little bit inconsistent. Now, at the moment, boys, we are struggling a little bit to break down our opponent, so I'm going to go for that cross diagonal again. Mctominay with the 4-star weak foot. It's a lovely ball, boys. I mean, if you are struggling to break down your opponent, that's a really good thing to go ahead and use. Yeah, he is doing a lot of AI defending. Thuram, first time over the top through ball into Mctominay. There goes that run again. The touch, not too bad, but Varane, man, that's such a good tackle right there. That's very unlucky. Again, man, his attacking positioning and finishing hasn't been too bad. The attacking threat is most definitely there as well. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is us using the new Winter Champions Mctominay card in a few games of FUT Champions. And I will say a very solid midfielder for the price. If we go ahead and dissect his in-game stats in a bit more detail, we did go ahead and give him the Shadow Chem style. And with the Shadow, he does have 89 acceleration and 88 sprint speed. Despite him not having the rapid or the quick step playstyles, I think in-game he was still very quick, especially with his build, man. He is a bit of a tank in the middle of the pitch. Now, as you guys know, we did go ahead and use him as that box-to-box midfielder in the 4-3-3 formation, and for the most part, his attacking threat wasn't too bad. With his 81 shooting, the finishing in and around the box wasn't anything too crazy, but he can most definitely bag you a couple of goals. It would have been really nice to maybe see a scoring playstyle just to add a little bit more going forward, but with the way that the card is set up, he's definitely better suited as a holding midfielder. Now, as you guys know, he does have some really nice passing playstyles, but the 78 passing was a very interesting stat, man. I will say his passing in game was still really effective. With the long ball pass playstyle, we all know how OP that is this year in FC 25. It's very easy to break that defensive line from like a deeper position. If you aren't too worried about his like defending and physicality, you can maybe give him the Catalyst Chem style to improve his passing a little bit more. That could be a pretty decent option as well. The 83 dribbling, a really interesting stat for the card because as you guys know, he is 6'4" and he does have a very large build in game. But with his 82 agility and 83 bounce, I feel like he was pretty smooth on the ball, man. In those more advanced positions, he can most definitely get the job job done. And then last but not least, boys, the 86 defending and 86 physical, definitely the standout area for the card, man. The defensive coverage that you get with Mctominay is really solid in my opinion. With the shadow cam style, he does have 95 interceptions with the intercept play style, plus very good at breaking up the play and advancing the ball forward. And then alongside that, he does also have 87 defensive awareness, 96 stand tackle, and 96 slide tackle. Like I said, boys, an absolute tank in the middle of the pitch. Overall, boys, I'm going to go ahead and give the card an 8.6 out of 10 rating. I really enjoyed using him as that box-to-box midfielder in the 4-3-3 formation. Now, as you guys know, in order to complete the SBC, it is going to cost you roughly 50,000 coins. There are 4 different requirements. And if you do already have a lot of Team of the Week cards as like fodder, man, it's going to be very cheap to complete, which is a great addition to anyone who does run a Serie A team. Now, if you do run a formation with center defensive mids, I would probably recommend that you guys go ahead and use him as that holding midfielder, especially with that being his player role plus. For 50,000 coins, you're getting a midfielder that is very strong in game. So if you do prefer your taller, more physical type of midfielders, he's most definitely going to fit your style of play. The defensive cover that you get with the card with the intercept playstyle plus is phenomenal. Going forward wasn't too bad either. And if you do have a lot of Serie A SBCs completed and you can get him on full chemistry, for the price, I think it's a pretty decent card to go ahead and pick up. If I had to compare him with like a specific type of player, he definitely gives me Thuram Road to the Knockout vibe. So if you do like players like that, Mctominay is going to be a great addition to your team. And if you can't fit him into your main team, and if you are maybe in need of a super sub, man, I think that in off of the bench, he can make a serious impact. So if you do have the fodder and you are looking for a cheap beast, then you can get him on full chemistry. Or if you are in need of a super sub, I think for 50,000 coins, a pretty decent SBC, and I would definitely recommend them. But that is going to be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, let me know by leaving a like. Comment down below what player you guys would like to see next in another player review. And then also consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for clicking on today's video. I've been your boy Booba, and I'll catch you guys in another one very, very soon. Peace.